Today we're observing a crew that's planting dormant bench grafts on a hillside vineyard. And as you can see, we're working with nature. We still have the oak trees above and beyond, as well as the tall grasses to rely on. The vineyard essentially is 4 feet by 4 feet, 4 feet between vines and 4 foot down the rows. And I've instructed this crew to go ahead and dig holes approximately 1 foot by 1 foot by 18 to 20 inches deep, so we can ensure a good volume of friable, loose soil. And as you can see, the soil is not very moist. It should be friable, such as this. As you can see, as part of the difficulty in some of these hillside locations is the fact there's a lot of rock, and sometimes bars and picks are used to break loose the rock so we can get down about 18 inches, and rock removal is necessary. We found that, if you don't try to give a big hole for planting purposes, the vines are stunted in some regards. So a little extra effort is valuable in producing a good sized hole for the vine to be planted in. You can see the excellent conditions of the roots from this rootstock that's been in a nursery row. There's 4 fairly large roots right here, actually 5. And then we got branching off of the newer roots. And as the soil warms, these roots will start pushing new little rootlets. And these have been pruned to the proper length for the size of this vine. It's a nice quantity of wood here and quality. Been pruned to 2 buds, 1 bud here and 1 bud here. And that's what we would expect from the nursery. Puts in a little bit of friable dirt. Packs it around, uses the back end of the shovel, tamps it in around the root system itself. And actually we're adding a fertilizer tab at the same time, kind of a slow release fertilizer tab into the soil above the root system. Proper planting height is approximately 4 to 5 fingers from the graft union to the soil surface. If dirt comes in contact with the sign, there is a chance that scion roots would come from above the grafted portion and establish themselves. And that's one of the main reasons we want to make sure we have a fair amount of distance planted here. And one of the final steps in concluding the process of planting is then slipping a grow tube over the top of the vine and putting a little dirt around the base. And that is like a little insulator. And these tubes are actually porous, and they can allow the vines to grow up. And if we need to do some weed eating, we can get pretty close without destroying the vine, or voles or gophers or molds even from feeding on the vine trunks itself. And generally then the tube is tied to the stake to keep it closed. And that'll provide insulation from frost, provides a chamber for that vine to grow, and usually they'll come pretty quick through the growing season.